In this lecture, we're going to continue our descent into Excel by moving on from data, which we covered in Excel 1, to formulas, which we're going to cover here. Now we're going to jump back over to our blood pressure spreadsheet, and I'm going to work on that and work it up with some formulas to do some cool stuff. Let's jump over to Excel and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Here I am with my blood pressure, and I noticed something that I did wrong. It's systolic over diastolic, I believe. So let's cut that, and then let's select this and say insert cut cells. And that'll swap these two columns. There, it should be 120 over 70, not 70 over 120. I don't know what I was thinking. So anyway, what can we do with this via formulas? Well, let's come to this cell. Wouldn't it be neat? No, actually it wouldn't, but let's do it anyway. If we had the total of everything here in this column. So to do that, I would enter a formula. And to enter a formula, I type equal sign. Now, notice two things. I can type in the cell here, or I can type up here in, I don't remember what this is called, the formula line or something like that. And they're going to be identical to one another. So as I type here, they're going to mirror one another. Now, what I want to do to total a row or a column is say sum. And notice as I type, the available functions are displayed, and I can pick any one of them. Now I just want sum, and I'm going to pick a left parentheses, which defines the arguments. And then here it's telling me what I can enter here, and that's a number range. Now I would like to sum cell C2 through cell C3. Oh, notice it started typing them as I clicked on them. So let's go cell C2 colon C3. That means all the cells between C2 and C3, let's sum them. And it comes up with, sure enough, 240. Congratulations, you've just entered your first formula. Now, unfortunately, this is not a very useful formula for this table. Who cares about our total systolic blood pressure? But let me create some rows that actually are going to be useful for this table. So let's delete this. I select the cell and I just hit delete and it's gone. Let's come to here and I want to right click on row 2 and say insert. And here I get a blank row. Now, gave me the colorization of the header row. So I come back over here to header and I say no fill. There we go. And we may as well get this back to black type, which I'm going to need. Now, what I'm thinking is, wouldn't it be neat to go to here and get the min, the max, and the average of my systolic and diastolic blood pressure? So to get the min, or let's have it go max, average, min. So to get the max, I go equal, and I start typing max. Now I like to capitalize my functions. It's up to you. You can make them lowercase. Here's max. So I finish it and I found max, and I do the left parentheses to start the range. And the range that I want is somewhere about C3 to C10,000 or so. I want some really big range. Now I'm sure there's some kind of symbol I can put in there, like asterisk or something, meaning get everything, but I don't know what it is. So I'm going to say max C3 to C10,000. I probably won't have more than 10,000 readings. And you can see it found that 120 is my max. Now let's take this function, click on the cell, right click, say copy, come over here and say paste. It found 70. Notice what it did. These cell references, C3, C10,000, are known as relative cell references. So if I copy them from one cell to another, what it does is it increments the cell number in the direction that I'm copying. So here I've got C3s through C10,000. I copied it over here, and it automatically made it D3 to D3000. So it knew that I was talking about the D row and not the C, or the D column and not the C column anymore. So that's how relative cell references work. Later, we might work into an example where we've got to do absolute cell references. Now let's take column 2 here. We'll select on it, or row 2. I'll copy, then I'll go to the next row, and I'll say insert copied cells. Can we do it again? No, we can't. Okay, so let's copy one more time, and then we'll come here and we'll say insert copied cells. Now, notice how our numbers have gotten kind of bizarre. That's because as we copied, it's changing our cell references in the direction that we copy. Remember, these are relative cell references and not absolute. So what I want this to be, maybe I should have used absolute. Should we teach you absolute? Let's teach you absolute right now. So this is going, I would say, I want C $5. This becomes an absolute reference now. So this will not change as I copy this cell. Let me show you this. If I copy this and I select these two cells and I say paste, now I've got an absolute reference. So the formula is going to be the same. Let's now take this and we'll copy it all the way through here. Now here, instead of min, or max rather, we want, unfortunately, I've entered numbers that are the same, so we want average for this cell range. And then for this, okay, we want min, max. So the first one we want min. So I change that to min. And then I can take all of this, copy it, go here, and paste it. Now I've got the min-max. Now let's get some more numbers in here so that we have, let's make this 100 and this 120. Now you can see the min is 100. The average is 110. And the max is 120. And here we have the same for the diastolic. This is some interesting findings. Now, what I might do is say maximum, average, minimum. And there, you've just seen how to use the sum, min, average, and max functions with relative and absolute cell references.